What button
We
was it?
are... Oh, we're live.
I can't
We're
hear you
live.
because she keeps...
Because we're live. Worst intro
ever.
Alrighty.
You know those
Welcome to Legacy of Fire. This is Chapter 2 still, The House of the Beast. And session number 12. So, last time around, we were wandering through the caverns and doing some exploring, and Faden got hit in the face with a trap. Opened up a door and found a ogrekin with 4 human slaves in a room here. Quick recap description of the room. Okay. Pale blue ceramic sensors dangle from copper chains mounted into the ceiling along the edges of this room, filling the chamber with a faint flickering light. To the west, a mound of rocks has been stacked to form a crude throne. I'm pretty sure I messed that up last time, too. Collection of mismatched boxes and clay urns lines the northern wall, while to the south, numerous rocks have been stacked in front of a pair of doors. So we had just rolled initiatives when we decided to call the session, so we're going to start at the top of the turn order, the beginning of the battle with Maldrek.
What?
It's your turn.
What?
Whose turn is it?
For the love of Pete. Okay.
Why is it my turn?
Because you're the one
you're the
with the
speaker.
mighty initiative. So at the end of the last session, you guys open the door, you find this guy. He is close to the door, probably because he heard you guys coming. Or at the very least heard the trap.
Possible. We are stealth masters.
Oh, freaking duck.
Well, some of you might have been until this, rusty, horrific thing came and tried to cut your brother in half.
I might have made an oof sound.
You son of a
For the
bitch.
record,
And it was kind of rusty, so it probably went as it, came down anyway.
Did
But
that noise again?
no, thank you.
Ulfar
So-
was in no way stealthy, by the way.
No, he definitely wasn't. I don't even think he was trying.
I don't remember if I bothered rolling or not.
So the ogrekin guy, he was standing up by the door, and he starts laughing when he sees you. Granted, he probably only sees the 2 of you, and then he instructed his slaves to attack and kill you.
Human slaves, right?
They are humans.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna
Those guys.
I'm gonna step in. Right about there.
Okay.
Or maybe not there. Hold on. Yeah, maybe not there. 5, 10, 20, 30.
Just gonna... Can you not, brother?
What? Why?
Straight lines. Think about that.
Okay, but I need to be there.
Okay.
And
But-
you could easily 5-foot step.
Yeah.
You can't 5-foot step and charge, folks.
Oh, I thought you were wanting to loose an arrow. Anyway, Maldrek, it is your turn and not Faden's turn. Do whatever you like.
I generally do. Quaffing mutagen as I go.
Good.
Okay.
So that is mutagen. There's my Dexy mutagen, by the by.
Dexy mutagen. Mutadexogen.
That. Dude, that is
Is this the one that makes you big?
+2 natural armor bonus, +4 alchemical bonus to selected ability score for 40 minutes.
Wow.
Makes me all big and gross.
Okay, so you are a big guy now.
Yes.
He's got a rind.
Where do I put that under?
All right.
No.
So when you do that, this slave right here, his eyes get real big and sort of like starts looking up as you begin growing taller, and he gets a little pale. So you moved and you quaffed. Is that the extent of your turn then?
Not even a little bit.
Are you sure?
I'm a large creature too.
I'm pretty sure I can still chuck a bomb from here.
Were you quaffing while you were moving? Is that a
Yeah,
thing?
that is
Okay.
literally what I said.
Okay, I missed that part.
Burp. Burp.
I have to out of here.
I still taste iron in my mouth.
Next time you'll make my sandwiches, won't you?
Sandwich.
What?
Oh shit! Oh, I fell.
What are you, a Saudi millionaire?
What?
Topical. Anyway,
For the love of God, Dave, finish your turn.
I'm gonna -2 ability score. Dex wisdom goes down. Okay. Sleep. Lord.
glurp.
Oh,
Garbage.
and damage. Okay.
So this ogre guy, is he like, what is he? What's his size category?
He is a... He's classified as a medium giant, in parentheses, augmented human.
Okay, so he's still a medium creature.
Sort of, yeah. But he's a little bit bigger than...
He takes up all the 5 feet.
He's a medium giant. That's kind of contradictory terms, but okay.
Yeah. Well, that was the funny thing. Medium giant.
He's a small giant.
I'm gonna start referring to him as Jumbo Shrimp.
Throwing bombs, making.
Kind of what it sounds like.
Okay, so you're aiming for this here square.
I'm sure
Bomb
that'll
to
make
here,
him thrilled.
excluding this guy.
Excluding this guy. Okay.
You gonna be obvious about that? You gonna be like eyeballing him?
Not especially. I mean, in my periphery. You?
Okay. So you were precise bombing. That's a thing.
Yes.
Okay. Now a 12 does not match his AC.
Okay.
So I guess he's doing reflex for splash damage, if I can find. There
Well, we gotta
it is.
figure out where it lands then.
Oh, right.
Dude, don't tell her. Just say where it landed.
And here.
No, he doesn't get to do that.
You forget he does.
It should be here, right?
6, 7, 8.
Oh! And
'Cause
you
it starts at the square below where facing me, and then goes around clockwise. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Okay.
But he was excluded.
Was he?
I did say it.
You did say that, but then you missed. So, well, you didn't do a dramatic miss, but he's still going to have to do a splash damage reflex thing. All right, so
Okay, do it.
this will be Lazrul's reflex save.
Yeah, if the bomb misses, this discovery has no effect, so he's fully in it.
Fully in it, okay.
So it actually does hit him then.
Okay.
So he takes the brunt. If a 12 hits him.
If a 12 hits him.
A 12. Oh, for fuck's sake. A 12. Oh, yeah, 12 hits him.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay, so Lazarul's reflex save. He's failing.
Good.
So we're getting 6 splash damage on him. And -6. And this poor guy is taking a full 10 damage.
Yarp.
Alright, he is Sad Panda.
Laugh it up, Chuckles.
Yep.
No, the big guy, brother.
What?
He's
Big guy.
He's so sad he's dead. You just blew him to proverbial smithereens.
Oh, he did.
Yeah, he did. And it's his turn. He's gonna
He dies on.
seep, blood from his various body parts a little bit.
Gross.
And now it's this guy's turn. So you're standing right in front of him. What in the world is that noise?
That's my machine.
That's
I
a
thought it
sewing
might
machine.
Thought it might be. Mute your microphone if you're going to do that crap.
I'm working on it.
Okay. He has a club in his hand. And he's
Make
gonna
you remember.
he's gonna try and hit you with it.
Don't do that. No. Did you see what I just did to one of your other guys?
Yeah. At this point, like, you can tell that he's a little bit worried about you, considering how big you are.
Can I do
But-
an intimidation check?
On your next turn, maybe. But he's currently more afraid of Lazarul. So I'm guessing a 7 doesn't hit.
No, not especially.
He's not trying very hard. And that makes it Faden's turn.
Well, I can't charge.
Oh, this guy also is taking a 5-foot step back.
So
Especially not now that he's all embiggened.
yeah, well, not really before either. Couldn't have sat high side. Had to move around low side.
If he had sat high side, he would have been into the low side anyway.
Well, you expanded him down. You didn't have to expand him down. I mean, it's better than it could have been, but you could have expanded him up from high side.
Such a whiner. Just take your turn.
I'm just saying, he's the worst player ever. That's what I'm saying. Anyway, I'm just going to take a run, not a charge. Tempest out. And I'm going to just run up here.
Where are you? Okay. So you're running, but you're not charging, so you are going to take an attack of opportunity from this guy, who for some reason is not actually in a square.
Wait a minute.
What?
Can I charge that?
I would say that you could. You're not
Yeah.
actually touching him.
Is that good? Okay.
I mean, I
So
could just
I'm
leave.
dancing. So I dance. I dance a little in it. It's fine.
Tiny dancer.
Yeah, well, sometimes it's private and for compensation, but
Dancing for money, yeah.
yeah, exactly. So I'm gonna charge his face,
Okay.
and I am going to what does this guy look like? Can you describe as I'm running up? I'm gonna look at my eyeballs at him.
All right, hang on. Because for some reason, the stupid picture in my manual is, here we go, fuzzed out in a really stupid way. Waiting.
Maldrek, chained, helpless man killer, Fiorient.
You shut your face. That doesn't leave this room.
Well, that guy certainly isn't going to.
Nope.
Wait a minute, is that the actual picture? Shut up. Is that the actual picture that I have? It is, okay.
Charge the blockhouse.
That's what he looks like. He's wearing sort of a weird, creepy mask thing. But,
So is he mostly gross, or is he like,
I mean, he's kind of gross.
he's like, looks like he's kind of formidable? So he's like built?
Yeah, he's a big, muscular guy.
All right, then. I'm gonna take him seriously. So I'm gonna run up there with a charge,
Mm-hmm.
and and as I'm running up, I'm going to go, "Sorry about that guy."
What?
The guy that my brother blew up. I'm going to apologize in common.
What are you, Canadian?
And I'm going to hit him with Tempest at a charge, which is a bonus of +2 to attack, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to add up 2 to this. Never mind, I guess. We're not.
Go ahead and roll me a d20.
Very disappointing.
How do you get the
gosh.
symbol in there?
It's a setting in the back of the thing.
Ah,
You can put your own custom symbols in there, actually.
Yeah, that's a starting will.
A 16. Okay, so that's not too bad. So you miss, obviously,
Mm-hmm.
and while you sort of whiff past the guy, you end up very nearly losing your grip on Tempest. But the mold spores act like, duct tape and keep you from losing it.
Can I, what skill check could I make an attempt to disguise the almost losing the sword into sort of a sword spinny flourish?
Unfortunately, considering that you charged him and very, obviously meant to attack him, there is nothing that you could do that would pull that out of the depths of failure.
Blast. All right. That ends my turn.
Yeah, it does.
Super, Andy.
Okay, and now it's Lazrul's turn.
How you doing?
And you're right up in his grill,
That's,
and your AC's at a -2.
yeah, but
And you just made yourself look really stupid.
Alright, let's get out of here. And let's see what he
I
can
at least
do.
refuse to look sheepish after that. I'm not going
Holy sh... Okay.
My AC is super not 15. It's just not. So we're going to figure out why that might be.
Okay, so Lazrul, who is
Oh, nice.
standing in front of the throne there, he has this great whopping club, a great club, as a matter of fact, in his hands, and he is going to swing it directly at your head.
Yikes.
Does a 22 hit you
Oh, yeah.
with your lessened AC?
Super hits me.
Okay. So let me see. We got.
You might need to turn your armor back on, Dave.
it is on.
Oh, okay. Mine was off for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah, mine was clicked off.
Is that
What?
right?
Defaulted to that.
I had to fiddle with it to make sure it was accurate with my.
Oh,
username.
you lucky dog, you. You are going to take 12 points of club damage about the head and shoulders.
Okay.
Members only.
Really could have rolled that a little better. All right. And with that, he is going to, because the throne is basically right here behind him.
That's
He
just
is
what he does
going
when he
to
gets
take
into
a
the room.
5-foot step to get out from, pinned between you and that thing.
I thought he was already on the throne.
He was at the throne.
What kind of game is this?
It is Tria's turn.
Is there lightning and things?
She's all
Well, at
muted.
least Jeff got
You know
it.
what? You're not coming up here to watch TV anyway. Go find something to do.
Okay,
If it's that
so
kind of throne, I would have bull rushed him into it.
can I yell at Ulfgar to get
No.
his butt in here?
Sure. I'll even count that as a free action.
Ulfgar! Move it! Okay.
I'm still slow to respond. It's not gonna make me any quicker.
His
That's true. He still has the world's worst movement speed.
his
Okay.
trigger phrase is "It's clobberin' time." By the way.
Actually, I'm gonna go... Okay, he's huge, so if I stand here, do I have a clear shot at the guy?
Absolutely.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome.
All right, we're not gonna roll another one.
I think I want to do my, where the devil did he go? The flaming sphere thing again.
Okay.
But I can't find it again.
Hang on. Let me nukes
There
it
it
up.
is. And I want to land it, right on the dude.
Right in his face. Okay. Flaming sphere. Standard action. 5-foot diameter.
15.
Blah blah de blah de blah de blah de blah de blah.
You know what I found out the other day, Dave?
What's that?
I have a bonus against fear effects.
If
Okay.
it enters the space with a creature, it stops moving for the round and deals 3d6 points of fire damage to that creature, though a successful reflex save negates that damage. Okay. Let me...
Didn't know that. Got that from
Is
Fighter
that the
Level 2.
DC 15, the reflex? Is that what it has to be?
Yes. Alright, so you're basically putting it, right about there. Did it work? Oh, it did work. There we go. Right about there.
Yeah, wherever, right on his face. Right on his face.
Okay, so we say roll.
Actually, I'm going to put it on the other side of him. That way, to get away from it, he has to back up toward the throne and box himself in again.
Okay, so right here. Or
It's thrown
Wherever
on
this
the bottom.
doesn't have anything to mark this from. So.
right here?
Right there. Because isn't his throne in that square that's 2 to the left of...
This one.
Probably
yeah,
could be
so
good
he'd
if
have
we
to
put
back
something.
up that way. So that would pin him in again.
Okay. Alright, reflexing.
Almost flanking with a giant ball of fire. 5-foot step will have me flanking with a giant ball of fire.
Ow. He super does not save.
Yikes!
Yay.
Super does not save. So we're going to say roll 3d6.
Am I supposed to roll that?
Well, if you want to see if you do better than I do.
Are you going to take the highest?
Yeah, I'll take the highest.
Okay, then I'll roll.
He reaches down and tries to pick up the ball of fire.
Or he tries to bite it like the Unchosen does.
Oh,
Speaking of,
God.
how many of these flaming spheres can you do per day?
I've done 1 so far. This is my second.
Yes.
I can do 3.
Okay. Alright, so he's going to take 16 Bernie damage. Because that hurts a lot. Yeah, I was 2 away from max damage. I didn't think you were going to do better than that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we'll go with yours for sure.
Yeah, I thought so.
I don't know why you rolled it, but
I wasn't paying attention to what was going on up there. I didn't realize she had gotten that high.
Yeah, I did fairly
no,
well.
I mean I don't know why the DM rolled it.
Because I was excited.
Let her bask in her excitement.
To let him bask in flame.
Yeah, he's just sort of standing there getting burnt. Okay. Moving right along, I do believe it is Soleil's turn.
Okay.
Do you have control of Soleil?
I don't know. I haven't tried to move her yet.
Okay.
There ain't no way she's gonna make it up there anyway, so I do. She's 40.
Just gonna have to spend all your time trying to get her not to eat the dead guy.
30,
Gross.
35, and 40. And I guess she's gonna hold her action because she can't reach anything.
Okay. Do me a favor and make sure that you can move your fireball.
Fireball. Yes, I can move my fireball.
Sweet. Okay. That saves me the trouble. Ulfgar, it is your turn.
Holy crap.
Hep.
Whoa, there's something going on?
You're out there going, hey guys, where'd you go?
Alright, well, let's
What's
go around
all the
corners.
noise?
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Run towards the sound of the explosion.
Running, running, running. All right.
Okay.
Is that it?
Well, run is 3 times your speed. So.
Oh, okay. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Holy crap, Meldrick's huge. Okay.
Yes, he is.
Wow.
Like, whoa.
Whoa, wait, oh, wait, never mind. Okay.
But his hair looks great,
All right, who is
as
this?
usual.
So
Oh
this
Lord,
guy,
what happened in here?
let me find the right page. All right, what can we do? La, 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 la.
Oh, I know.
Okay.
What? No, it don't bother me.
This guy
Mm-hmm.
is going to charge to here and swing at Faden
Mm-hmm.
for
17 is your number. Because it's still charge lowered.
Yep. He misses.
No, you'd have to put a 1 on that.
Yeah. Even with his +2 to the charge, he misses abysmally. Okay. He looks sort of nervously over at Lazrul to see if there's going to be any
Punishment
for missing, but Lazrul is a little bit distracted by the fact that he's on fire.
He'd have to get through me.
All right. This guy, seeing new people entering, he's going to charge Ulfgar
Hi, new
Me.
people.
Hey.
and attempt to club him
Dwarf
for
and
a
scary looking
critical
armor.
success, 25 altogether.
10% chance to miss.
That's true, so
It
let's
is.
do a roll.
There's a limit to the
100.
actual, like, being hit and not responding that Ulfgar
He still
is
hits you.
capable of.
Okay.
So we're going to try and confirm his critical,
I don't think we're going to save all these people.
guessing that a 10 doesn't confirm.
No.
No. Okay.
Not even close.
But he does hit you,
Okay.
which is a lot more than the other guy managed to do.
That's
all
okay.
right.
That's just stupid. Because that's just going to piss me off, so it's okay.
Right. You take 5 club damage.
Yeah.
And now I'm angry. A whopping 5 damage. All right, Maldrick, your turn.
Nope.
Oh, wait. Did Soleil have anything else she wanted to do? She was holding half an action? Or half a turn, I mean to say.
She still can't reach anything, can she?
There's the guy right next to Ulfgar.
But she can't reach him, can she?
She already moved,
she
so-
moved a movement speed. If the guy was right up next to her, then she could. But from where she is, I mean, she could take another movement and end up right on top of him, but she would not be able to attack him in the same turn.
No, it's not worth it.
Okay, then it's Maldrick's turn.
If he'd leave that guy alone, I'd kind of like to let him live too. But If Ulfgar chooses to do that.
I mean,
Now there's an angry dwarf,
He's
so
not
there's no
gonna-
telling.
He's
Like-
not gonna live.
like some of us can like think past that, but some of us are Ulfgar. And it's
Yeah.
like, well, you hit me.
He ain't living now. Too late.
You messed up my hair. I'm gonna kill you.
My hair.
You know what? Soleil's just as likely to attack Ulfgar, so because she doesn't like him anyway. So all the other guys got to do is throw her a treat, and she's going after the dwarf.
Yeah. Well, it's like Maya doesn't like Dad, but he refuses to believe that.
Yeah.
All right, Meldrek, what you up to?
Your mother rubs it in all the time.
Yeah, but that's because it's my father's fault that the dog doesn't like him.
Jeff, how do I get the curve blade to work with weapon fitness?
Let's see. I think I said it.
So I just have to change it to a ranged attack so it works with my dex?
I think
that's
that's
what
how
I
we
might
did
have
it.
done. Yeah, I've got Tempest down as ranged. Attack type ranged.
Second question,
Yeah.
can I switch weapons while charging?
No, I do not
Nope.
believe so.
Can I
Moving,
switch a
yes,
weapon
charging, I
and
don't think
charge?
so.
I only understood half of what you said, Dave.
Can I change a weapon and then charge?
Um,
'Cause I don't have quick draw
I
yet.
believe that charging and attacking counts as a full round action, so no.
I mean,
So not having quick draw thing is kind of a hinder.
yeah, it gets to you.
I know what I'll do. I'll chuck
Just
another
throw
bomb.
it at him.
No, I'll chuck another bomb.
Please be careful.
It will exclude Faden.
We tried that once already, and you ended up dropping it exactly on the guy
In
that you were
theory,
trying to exclude.
in theory,
I-
I'll exclude Faden.
He intends to exclude Faden.
Brother, clench.
Incoming!
Is
Okay. Are you trying to hit Lazrul?
Yes.
You miss.
Fuck.
yeah,
So starting
do-
here.
Okay.
Where does it start here?
It starts there.
Okay. Okay.
He sort of bleeds over into the surrounding square. Okay, so it's hitting here then, because that was where we started, correct?
Right. Starts at
All
one.
right. So both Faden and Lazrul are rolling reflex saves.
I did say clench.
I'm good. I'm springy.
You hope. Tonight hasn't been going well so far, so
Okay, Lazrul is taking
Yeah.
half, and apparently so is Faden. So splash damage was a total of 6. Everybody's taken 3.
And then I'll switch to my Elven Curve blade.
You do that. All right.
And that's another bomb.
3 acid damage.
Possibly a better bet.
Like, can I draw and then quaff an elixir?
I feel like if you're throwing, changing weapons, that's probably the extent of
No.
your turn.
Alright.
All right.
Even if I'm not moving.
I want 8 more actions.
Right?
This guy directly to Maldrek's south.
All the actions.
He is going to 5-foot step.
Dude,
and
I
he
just
is going-
blew up your guy twice.
He's going to swing a club. He is utterly terrified at this point. So, like, actually suffering from a fear effect.
He takes penalties.
So he's going to take a penalty of -2, I believe, for being frightened.
That'd be a shaken effect then.
Shaken? Yes, that could
Because
be.
a legit fear effect, he would have to be running away from us.
Ah, right. Okay, shaken then. Wow. Okay.
But
That's
apparently he's competent.
okay. Does a technically actually an 11 hit you?
No.
I'm gonna say even with your embiggened state, it does not. So he is going to hit you with his club.
what a word.
Is now. Don't judge me. Alrighty. You are going to take 5 club damage.
Maldrick and Biggins, and I in Smolin.
Yes.
Okay.
Faden.
All right. All right. I am going to. Can you flank with a sphere? Does that? Does it
Um,
like? Does it count as a threatening party? That.
I don't think so.
No?
At least from your perspective, it does not. But from the sphere's perspective, it might. If that makes any sense, because you're able to move, and it isn't until it's Tria's turn.
Well, like, but yeah, other players aren't able to move until it's their turn.
That's true, but I would say no because it's not
All right.
a.
Well, I don't really want to go in there anyway because then I would be flanked as well.
It's true.
So
Also, you would be, I believe, standing on a throne, or was that right? No, that's right here.
you should really put something on the map
Yeah,
to
I'm
indicate a thing on the map.
Thinking about putting a.
It's probably a token somewhere.
Yeah, there probably is, but.
Okay, so I am going to attempt to strike him again.
Excuse me.
And despite, I felt like I kind of tripped a little bit on that last one. Didn't feel like he was particularly hard to hit. I felt like I stumbled.
Yeah, it was probably you.
I mean, that's on me. So I'm going to power attack.
Okay.
Because I still got some confidence. And I'm going to chant a thing while I'm doing that and make some gestures with my other hand. One of my scars glows blue, and the energy runs down my arm. Does a 26 hit him in the face or anywhere else?
Well, it hits him somewhere.
All right. Is he wearing metal?
He is not.
All right. Well, we hit him anyway, so we're all right. Ba-doo. And then I would I would do this additional stuff to him. Oh, I gotta find the button.
You're cute, but you can't yank out my headphones.
Okay. So 12 slashing, 3 frost, 21 electricity.
Well,
What'd you do?
he stands there and sizzles slightly.
But
And doesn't do a whole lot of moving around just yet. Let me do some math. Math. 36? I'm coming up with 36. Does anybody agree with that number?
you go with those cats.
36 what?
36 total damage?
Oh, your butt.
Let me check on a thing because I
Oh,
don't.
your butt.
Yeah, 36.
My power attack didn't go through, so I had an additional. What is that? 4.
Yeah, it should be another +4.
Yeah, because there's only it rolled as 10, or there's only +10, but that's my regular, so there should be another 4. So you said 36 plus 4.
So 40. Well, he was going to do a thing, but now he's not.
In which case we were talking about it was like a 24 to hit. If that matters.
It still hits.
All right.
Yeah, so it was going to be his turn, and he was totally going to bull rush Maldrek because he was huge and looked interesting, and instead he just dies and sizzles a little bit because the fireball is still touching him.
Okay.
So,
as my move action, I would like to move my face and say, "You are free. Lay down your arms. No harm will come to you, except for possibly the one in front of the dwarf."
Okay. With that, all 3 of them immediately throw down their weapons, and this one backs away.
Maldrick
So-
just looms over the one next to him,
Fortunately, again for him,
Yeah.
I am not enraged. Otherwise, I'd still probably end up charging him and cutting him in half.
Probably.
But
Going at it.
fortunately, I'm not enraged at this point for him.
Yeah, didn't quite make it there yet.
It was
So-
boiling. It was Leveling up.
It was simmering, yeah. So you are out of initiatives. All three of them look strangely relieved that Lazrul is dead.
Why don't you go join your friends over there? Still looming over this guy.
What?
Geez. So we're sorry about that guy. Sometimes my brother
Comes
isn't.
over here to stand next to this guy.
Sometimes those bombs slip, you know.
Says the one
Yes,
who also got hurt.
Sorry about that. Sorry about that, Faden.
Yeah, maybe a little more, like just stone throwing or something when we get back. Just sort of work it up.
Yeah.
It's
It's the aerodynamics down here. It's funny. It's weird.
Do they have? This you were accounting for wind.
Yeah.
This was,
You know that wind beast we killed earlier. It made
Might point
everything
out-
funny down here.
We're in a dome,
no wind.
an enclosed environment. There's no wind.
Do they have like bonds or something?
They have. They actually look very similar in their dress and accoutrement as the guys that you found upstairs hiding out on the ground level.
Okay. So they're not really fettered or anything. They're just
Not
guard.
not in a way that keeps them from being able to do anything. I believe they did have. I'm trying to find it here. La, 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 la. They have.
You've got all the perception in the world, right, brother?
Pretty much.
Why don't you search the big guy? I'm gonna have a discussion with these fellows.
Why don't I search the big guy? Weep.
He's a little Kentucky Fried Ogre at this point.
Ogrekin. Okay. Yeah, they don't really have much in the way of bonds. What are we doing? We are inspecting the
He's
Ogrekin.
searching the Ogrekin, and I'm talking to the captives.
Okay. Let's do one thing at a time.
Yeah.
So, Lazrul has. Okay, so while you're looking at him very, very closely, you will notice that he's kind of strangely deformed. His right arm is huge and muscular, which you're assuming is what allowed him to wield this large great club without, it really bothering him at all.
So it's a large size great club. It's for a class bigger than him.
It is a large great club.
All right.
His legs are really sort of stunted and short, and his left foot is deformed into a club foot.
It's a club on both ends.
So yeah, while you are looking him over, he has some very nice looking leather armor and a large great club.
Hey, that's a thing you could use while you're in Biggin.
What? The great
Large
club?
great club.
Yeah, large great club.
What do I need the scimitar for? Huh?
I'm just saying.
For when
it's-
you're
What do you
not
do
in
with it
For
Biggin.
when you're not in Biggin?
Yeah.
Or maybe,
Also, it's our father's sword.
well, maybe Ulfgar can use it.
Your father's sword?
No, the great club.
He would take a penalty. He's
Only
a
if
medium
you
creature.
embiggen him.
Yeah.
That's
You want to head big?
that
I
is
can use
something
it.
I can do.
That would be
Yeah, and
a
embiggen,
force to be reckoned with.
and embiggen Ulfgar that's a terrifying thought. Are you sure you're
Kind of looks like a sandstorm, actually.
willing to unleash that upon these poor devils, Maldrick?
Sorry?
Are you sure you're willing to unleash that on these poor devils?
Yes.
Yeah, you may be right.
Yeah. Okay. So, Faden, what did you say you were doing?
I'm just having a discussion with the captives. I'm going to ask them about the slightly twitchy, crispy, bloody Hulk.
Okay. The one who seems to be, more or less in charge of the rabble that is left, which is this guy.
Yeah, obviously, that one guy was their captain, and he was like
Once upon a time.
a week from retirement.
Yeah. So he tells you that what little bit of history he knows of Lazrul was that he was sold into slavery as a child and has always been a slave. But then his master was murdered by a band of gnolls on a caravan trail. He was captured and brought here, and then over the course of a few months, he decided that he didn't much like being the slave of gnolls because they are cruel. And so several days ago, in a blind rage, he single-handedly killed 2 carrion guards. And then he decided that he was going to be in charge. So when he killed these other 2 carrion guards, he freed a dozen of us, meaning the human slaves. They were on the way upstairs to what would have probably been a suicide run against the troglodytes. 5 of them we never saw again, and the rest of them, the other, 3? Oh wait, that doesn't add up. Sorry, somebody sucks at math, and it's not actually me. So 5 of them disappeared, never saw again. These ones here, they say we were too frightened to go up to the surface, so we followed Lazrul and fled into these tunnels and sort of ended up here. But then things sort of took a turn when this guy who'd been a slave his entire life suddenly was his own master and had us underneath him. Slave hierarchy being what it is, we ended up being his slaves instead of slaves to the gnolls. And there used to be 7 of us, and we 4, well, now we are only 3, we're the only ones left. Some of them he had punished for what he called insubordination, and threw the bodies out into the main part of the chamber. You will probably, those of you in the party will probably recognize some of the extra bloodstains in that room where you found the dead slave that had been attacked by the Unchosen.
Well, you're actually free now. If there's one thing I can't really abide, it's slavery. A little bit of profit making, a little bit of smuggling here and there, but certainly not slavery. You said that there were more of you, but they headed up somewhere, and
You got totally robotic, but I heard you because I'm in the same room with you. Yeah, there were 5 of them that made for the surface. I don't know whatever happened to them.
They made it.
Yeah, they made it. We came across your compatriots. As a matter of fact, believe it or not, my brother here, at great personal risk to himself, while we were on this quest midway, went out and armed them. They are holed up in, I will describe the location of the facility. We intended to escort them back to town, but we have a mission here. We have to end the threat of the Carrion King. So they were holed up in a defensible position, and they have plenty of weapons, and we left them some food and water. I'm sure you are welcome to join them,
They
or we can escort you out after we come back through here.
they seem absolutely giddy at the prospect of seeing sunlight again.
Yeah, it's sort of
Um,
up there, but there's like a spider, so look out for the spider.
It's
Also,
cannibalistic goblin.
yeah. Also, there's a goblin. He's a little touched, and he likes to eat things that aren't quite dead yet. We got him. We got a feast going on for him, but you might want to steer clear of that room. That's like here. There was some other guys we freed that were fighting for the gnolls. They probably are holed up in the room to the south. We told them about the same gig. They didn't seem to actually want to leave the facility just yet. We're supposed to pick them up on our way out.
all right. He asks for sort of rough directions on how to get out.
Is the floor sort of sandy? Is it like? Is there?
I'll shake off my beard.
Oh, there we go. Yeah. The dwarven Etch-a-Sketch right here.
Yeah, it's a stone floor, but there's dirt
Okay.
there.
So I will take a little bit of my a little bit of that and sort of even it out and take some sand from Ulfgar and just draw a crude map with my finger.
All right.
Where we were going. Like saying, this is the ground floor here, and we're down here, and then we came out of a tower, right there, and you can kind of, but there's spiders over here, so I don't know the spiders.
When you mention the spider, the sort of leader-ish one, the one who's doing most of the talking, he goes, "Oh yeah, we know all about that spider," and sort of looks at the southern set of doors there that have been barricaded.
Oh, do tell if you have information about the spider. We didn't actually come across the spider yet, just evidence of the spider.
Well, same here. We never actually saw it, but when we first came into this sort of room here, those doors were closed, but not barricaded in any way. So we wanted to make sure that we weren't going to be attacked from the south and only had one door to worry about. So we opened that door to see what was on the other side, and it's just webs. So we decided, no, we didn't really particularly want to do that. And so we just barricaded it up. So just FYI.
Very good. Thankfully, I think you should thank for the information. That's great. I think you should probably at least get into the next room. Anastriana, your flaming sphere. I think you're going to want to send it through those doors. And I walk down and with my point at my brother and say, "We need to open these."
I would like to actually.
The spell has a limit.
What spell?
The flaming sphere has a time limit.
Okay.
It's 3 rounds.
Crap.
Is it 3 rounds? Yes, 3 rounds. So I'm not sure how many rounds it actually happened while y'all were standing there talking.
A round is
I'm pretty sure we
only
talked
6
longer than that.
seconds, so you've definitely been talking longer than that.
Blast. All right. So I don't do any of that. But I do say, all right, well, we don't want to leave things around behind us undealt with. But I don't.
No, it lasts 4 rounds. My bad.
I don't suppose you guys
still less than half a minute.
Want to be in this room when we open these doors.
No, they scrutinize the map for a little while longer. They say that they're going to try and meet up with their other compatriots that you guys had found and see if they can convince them to leave with them.
Mm.
And they're going to hit the road.
I ask Anastriana if she is familiar with the spell Spark.
Spark.
It's a cantrip.
I have a shock shield.
Do we have a torch?
No, it's
I am familiar with the spell Spark.
Ah, good. I would do it myself, but I can only cast so many of those, and the other thing I know is acid, and we were going to use that on those chains. So if you would oblige me. I think the instant we see some web, you should probably hit it.
Spark.
All right, so the slaves have departed following the map that you have laid out for them.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, indicating the goblins' room, I actually just wrote nom nom on a section of the map.
Okay. All right, so what are we doing, folks?
Well, Maldrick wanted to do something with the door.
Did I? You wanted me to do something with the door.
Yeah, I wanted you to help me open it.
Okay.
But you should probably look it over first.
Should I?
Well, I mean,
Probably.
speaking as someone
Wouldn't want
that
a
had,
thing to fall and kill your brother again.
yeah, speaking as someone that had half of the building fall on him.
Fine.
God, I hate spiders in these games. Why are we gonna mess with a spider?
So it's a 30 for detecting traps.
Okay, you do not detect any traps on this side of the door. You have to move some large rocks and boulders and things out of the way. The slaves had barricaded to keep the spider out, presumably. So they have to be moved aside before you can get anywhere near the doors. But while you're throwing rocks around, you hear a sort of tinkling, shattering sound.
What time? Do we know what time of day it is outside?
Well, you're going to assume that it's getting on toward evening, judging by how long you've been in here.
And the spider goes out in evening, right?
Spider, according to the slaves that you found outside, he goes out around dusk.
Okay. So there is probably a 75-25 chance that the spider is not actually in there and is on his way out.
That's
Is that the odds we're kind of going with?
that could be a thing.
Okay.
Anyway, so you hear this sort of tinkling, shattering noises, and you will notice that one of the sort of little ceramic sensors that were laying along the edge of the floor, you hit it with a rock and knocked it over and broke it.
Good job.
This is why we can't have nice things.
Wait, what happened?
You're breaking stuff.
Why am I breaking stuff?
Because you were moving the rocks.
Well, people are around me to watch out for it.
All right, well, go ahead and perceive for me then.
Just me?
No, everybody. Waiting on one more perception check. Wow, okay.
I perceived the crap out of that little jar falling, and I caught it.
Well,
Out there.
you didn't catch that one. So everybody except Maldrek, you start looking around the room, and there are actually quite a few of these, little ceramic sensors, and most of them are cracked, half shattered, or in some other way damaged. But nearby where you are standing, so we're going to call it
I blame him for
here, you find one that is untouched. It is sort of very ornately decorated, and anybody who cares to roll a knowledge local check for me?
As long as somebody points it out.
Knowledge what?
Nope.
Local.
I don't even know where I am right now.
Am I local?
I'm back in
How did I get here? You have a football practice.
Alpha.
I don't have local.
Just roll me a basic knowledge check then.
Maldrick
That's
caught
I
a
just
tour
did my
of
intel.
grandma.
I'm underground.
Wow.
Wow.
I'm
That
not very smart today.
all right. Phaeton, for your 16, you don't know a whole lot about these things, but it seems like the sort of stupid, useless trinket that people tend to collect and would pay, at least a little bit of gold for.
I think I've seen some of these in some of the little like curiosity shops during my days as a Duskwalker agent. I maybe don't smash all of them, brother.
What am I smashing again?
Well, those of you
Okay.
who had a halfway decent perception check, this is the only one in the entire room that is not damaged in some way.
Okay, I will carefully move it a long way away from Maldrek Hamfist.
Okay.
Son of a bitch. Slave Slayer, ham-fisted.
Actually, I'm just going to put it right sort of on the throne so it's protected on 3 sides. Just don't sit here.
I don't think I could fit.
Not in your current situation, no.
All right, I'm back.
Just to be clear, I'm not actually enlarged when I quaff the mutagen. I just get bulkier.
Yeah, he didn't do the Invigan one. He got I got a horny hide.
Yeah, I look gross.
I asked you specifically if you got bigger, and you told me yes.
No, he never said yes. I was there.
I get bulkier, but I don't enlarge.
Well, whatever. Okay. Well, you're
I mean,
puberty.
don't change it. I am about to quaff my enlarge potion.
Bam!
All right. Well, Phaeton, get out of the way. Whatever. Okay. So, rocks are moved. Door is clear. You did not perceive any traps.
I will quaff my enlarge elixir.
Okay.
I gotta change some more stats around for that. That +2 strength, -2 dex, -1 AC.
What is the manner of these doors? They open
They open towards you.
towards us? Okay.
Yep.
Oh, so I can't kick them in?
Nope.
That's fine. What we want to do is crack them and then let an Astriana at it and then try to hold them closed for a bit.
Lock her in there.
No. She's not going in.
Excuse me?
She just needs to see a little bit of the room. They said it was all web, so.
I just need to light it on fire, right?
Yep.
Basically, you can imagine them opening the door and seeing webs and webs and more webs, and just going, nope, and closing the door and barricading it.
Yep. That's generally my reaction to any kind of spider. This D&D, Pathfinder, any of them. Spiders are evil. The most evil things in any of them. Horrible.
Why we're gonna roast them? They make good eating.
How you doing there, Mal?
Well, I wanted to kick it in, but apparently I'm just going to pull them open.
Yeah,
We're
it
just gonna
doesn't.
crack
It opens towards you. That is why a barricade of rocks on the floor are effective.
We're just gonna crack it, and she's gonna thing, and then we're gonna hold them closed and listen for squealing.
All right, well, I'll crack it open a little bit and try to stand with my arms out and my legs kind of back, so that even though it's cracked towards us, I'll be able to brace the doors with myself.
Okay.
And I'm
Okay.
going to lean against mine because we probably don't need both doors open.
Can I see close enough from where I'm at? What is this? Is this a touch thing? This is not a touch thing.
Maldrek's probably going to need to take a 5-foot step to his right if he's facing the door. So 5-foot step west in order for you to properly be able to see. And you will need to assume the spot between Maldrek and Phaeton to be able to see in the door.
That means spider gets you first.
So it's dark in there.
That's not about to be.
I
Yeah.
can see. I got low light
Clearly now?
vision.
The rain is gone? Maldrek, You crack the door open. Approximately how far open did it come? How far open are you trying to get it to come? Let's put it that way.
Enough for a head to peek through.
Enough for a head. Okay, roll me a strength check.
An entire person's head.
I'm gonna stay where I was at, I think, until he gets that door open. However far it is, he's going to open it because I don't want something flying
fair.
out. I don't want bats in my hair.
I'd worry more about the spider in your face.
Okay,
But, you know.
so for a 19, the door is really resisting being opened, but for your 19, you do manage to open it as far as you want it to. Those of you who are in a position, which is pretty much everyone else, to peek through the crack in the door, you notice like huge ropes of sticky spider web connecting the door to something else farther into that room.
Gross.
So, yeah, it's just big ropes of
spider webs.
Spider webs, very, very thick, very sticky, very strong. And
AKA
unfortunately,
very large spider.
as soon as he, wrenches this door open and tries to force it open, like some of them start to snap a little bit further in the room, and you can hear the the webs going taut, and some of them are starting to crack and snap, and you will assume that that sound is probably carrying throughout the room. But you don't see anything other than the webs at present.
I did stress a quickness in this plan.
Okay, I'm gonna jump in front. Can I see from here? I have low light vision and all that, and I just need to verbal the spell. So I'm sure I can see one of those big rope-like strands in order to light it on fire and start a chain reaction.
Yeah, you can see well enough in the room for what you got to do.
All right, I'm verbalizing that. Do I need to roll anything?
I don't know anything about the spell. Let me.
It says verbal, one standard action, instantaneous.
Then no, I wouldn't think that you had to roll for
Basically, it ignites any
To
flammable.
just ignite anything combustible, so it's not trying to hit something.
Fire!
All right. So when you do that, you notice, some of the sticky tendrils that are attached to the door suddenly, become detached from the door as they start to sort of smolder, and then the light gets brighter and spreads throughout the room in really cool little ribbons of fire that are just licking along these tendrils until they all basically go up in smoke.
Oh, wow, look at
There
that.
should be a limit to what she can marvel at, because Maldrick is supposed to be shutting the door.
Yes, close the door.
Okay, well, you didn't
Close
see
the door,
any of
close the
that.
door.
You didn't see any of that.
Do I hear
need
any
to-
shrieking of spiders or
now we
anything like
want a
that?
good listen.
You do not hear anything coming from in there once the sound of the fire stops.
Okay.
Well, I guess that's our first strike at maybe something not in there or in there.
Did you actually see anything in there?
Big rope-like webs. It kind of fireworks as they lit on fire before you close the door.
I could consume an elixir of comprehend languages and see if they're cursing or not.
And see
maybe
what?
Overkill.
Elixir of comprehend languages and what?
And see if they're cursing our names.
Who?
The spiders.
I speak Draconic, but not Spiderling.
On 3 then, brother? Huh?
Well, why don't you guys stage behind me? I'll throw open both doors, and you just charge through my legs.
Gross.
Okay.
I think it would be a bit more dramatic and closer to our Our
Idiom.
idiom set. Yes.
I'm not in Smallland. This is harder now.
Well,
If
why
you are
aren't
talking
you
to
in
me, I
Smallland?
can't hear you, Joe.
Well,
Just-
because I can only in Smallland so often.
I can make you in Smallland. Can I? Do I have reduce?
I'm sort of
No, I
saving
didn't.
it.
I didn't get reduced because you already had it.
I'm
Yeah.
saving it. I'm saving it for the Carrion King.
Was that not the Carrion King?
No, that was some jackass.
Can we pretend that was the Carrion King and go home?
I can just leave.
Yeah.
Forget it. I don't. I think that'll. I don't think that'll pay off in the long term.
Probably not.
Or do you want me to just open one door and then everybody charge through and then I'll show up?
Do something, even if it's wrong.
Can you fit through if you only open one door?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, just pull one
No,
door.
I am-
back.
suck it in and you can get through.
No. All right. The Zoop. Pulling open this door.
All right. Door is open. Light from, well, I don't think anybody's actually actively carrying a lantern, but
We took a lantern with us. I don't know.
okay. So,
Ulfgar's in, so whatever.
So this hallway that you're in, there are bits of singed web just sort of littering the floor. It's just kind of everywhere. There's kind of an odd smell in the air that you will assume is sort of burning spider web smell, but you've never had enough of it burning in one place to be able to notice it before. There are here and there some really sort of desiccated corpses laying around that you will assume used to be wrapped up in webbing and had been fed upon by the inhabitants. But now the bonds that were holding them immobile are burnt away and they're just sort of dead in piles on the floor.
Are any of them close to us?
He keeps
Or are they
using
mostly in the
plural.
back?
Plural words here.
Dead body here and here and here.
Okay, I'm going to go examine the close one. I'm going to do a heal check and see if I can find the
You don't know Jack.
wound. No.
You don't even know where to begin to look. You think his feet are his head.
All right, now I'm going to look him over for any belongings.
It kind of seems like he might have been here for a while. Judging by the lack of really anything, he's not wearing any armor. You can at least tell enough with your 10 heal check to know that it was once a human. But you're gonna assume that he's been here for a while. But he's not really outfitted very well, so you're figuring he's probably one of the human slaves that the gnolls have, so if he had anything of value on him, they would have stripped him of it.
Bummer. All right. Nothing else. Just notice perception in the whole room.
Well, there.
Ugh.
You notice that there is a partially open door to the south and a closed door to your east.
Okay. I'm gonna tell Ulfgar to stay there for just a second, and I'm gonna come back to the door and say, "It looks like we missed him, but the door to the south is slightly ajar, so we should probably be close to that as a party."
Hint, hint.
And I'm going to try to check over the other guys. Same deal. Heal and perception.
Okay. So for the second dead guy, you find that he is a gnoll. Does not appear to be Maldrek. You do not find any traps, if that was what you were looking for.
Yep.
It shouldn't take you hitting it or banging it that much.
Are you insinuating that Maldrek checking for tracks is just hitting you with this?
That's generally what I do. Just,
Great.
Knocks on the door really loudly. Bum, 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 bum.
Hey,
Okay.
any traps? You
No.
knock it off.
There are no traps.
Hey, you traps! I don't want to hear anything from you.
Okay. So the second dead body, for your perception check of 28, you notice he is a gnoll. Doesn't appear to have the good carrion guard type gear, and any weapons that he once had probably got dropped somewhere along the way. But you are able to find he was wearing armor, but it's very badly damaged. Like you're going to assume that something wanted at him and had to rip his armor off in order to get there. For your 15 heal check, you know that he's definitely dead. You are finding some wounds on the body that for a 15 you can't really figure out, and with as desiccated as the body is, you can't really figure out the cause, but he does have some serious injury to his body, and he's most assuredly dead.
All right. I wish I didn't flub all of those, because all I want to do is find a puncture hole to generally estimate the size of the fangs. So this door that's open at the bottom, is it open towards me, or is it open away from me?
It opens away from you.
Okay. That's inconvenient, but...
And there was one more dead body down near that door, by the way.
Okay. Maldrick, no traps there. Is that locked?
This door, this is not trapped. Are they locked? Jiggle the handle.
It is not locked. Tria, what are you rolling? What is this 22 for?
Don't worry about it. His was higher than mine. I was going to see if I could roll a heal check and see the size of the fangs, but his was bigger.
Well, his heal check was only a 15.
Yeah, my heal check was terrible.
So was that a heal or was that a perception?
Well, which one would I need to do to figure out the size of the fangs? Since that's what he's trying to find out.
If you're trying to figure out the cause of death, it would need to be a heal check.
Okay, so
I was just doing a medical examination.
Would be the size of the fangs.
Well, perception is just overall looking at the body. You're not really, you would have to know that they were fangs before you could determine a size.
Let's do the heal check first, and then I'll roll another one for perception if I can figure out what killed him.
Okay.
I'm not in doubt that they were killed by a spider.
I'm not really either, but she's being anal.
I know, I'm just telling the DM, there's no way I'm confused about what killed these people.
Should I try just in case? Nope. There were bodies here.
Maldrek's like, yep, that's a gnoll.
That guy's dead.
Well,
there were spiders here.
Do you want to address the open
Nobody
door
can hear
or
you.
this door?
This door is open?
The door at the south is partially open.
Yeah.
The door immediately to your east is closed but not locked.
Well, we know what's farther east, so this door is likely a dead end.
Yeah.
So let's check it just to be sure there's nobody going to be behind us.
All right.
Does it open in or out?
This one opens away from you.
Good. I want to kick it in.
Okay.
Hold on, let me get my strength up here.
He's just been waiting for a door with the right hinges.
Right? I don't big him that often.
Okay. So you kick the door, and it opens without too much fuss, but it remains firmly on its hinges. And you see a long hallway with a door to the east there.
A corridor. You know what corridors say to me, brother?
What?
Traps. Please check it.
Those fucking tabs for everything.
Tria, were you actually rolling a heal check on that guy?
Yeah. Was he killed by a spider?
Did you ever roll a heal check?
That was the 22.
Oh, okay. I thought that was a perception. So you will notice that while he does have a plethora of very sort of interesting injuries on his body, the primary, you are going to find some puncture. Maldrek, don't move. Some puncture marks that you will definitely assume are spider related.
Can I tell how big the spider is from the wounds?
Yeah, you can.
Is it a really big spider?
Yes, it is.
Is like the puncture wounds like the size of my arm?
You could stick your fist in one for sure.
Did you find something, Anastriana?
Big holes.
Oh,
I've got big.
jeez.
Look, my hand can fit in.
Wow. I don't know how I missed that. Knowledge nature to generally extrapolate. Crap.
I'm assuming you rolled poorly. Yes, you did. Okay. Maldrek, I'm trying to find something for you.
So the first perception check was at the door. Second one was from right where I am.
Okay, and you were checking for traps, correct?
Yes.
Yeah,
Correct.
it's like I forgot the general range. It's supposed to be.
It's about 30 feet.
Yeah.
Okay. You do not find any traps. However, as you are standing where you are, your elven senses start tingling, and you are repeatedly drawn to a spot in the wall right here.
Really? So let me stare directly at the wall with my face on it.
It's actually really hard to look at something with your face on it.
You'd be surprised.
You notice an outline in the wall that looks suspiciously door-shaped.
It's no dwarf door, I'll tell you that.
Door here.
A door, you say?
Yes, there's a secret door.
Oh.
Oh, this guy.
You know what secret doors say to me?
I didn't know secret doors talked.
Traps. Actually, everything pretty much says traps now.
No, there are no traps around here.
Nope, there are no traps that you found.
Oh.
At least on this side.
That's just bad planning on a secret door.
Right?
Who wants to be the first on the scary secret door?
Well, I'm already here.
Ulfgar, what is your 29 for? Are you noticing unusual stonework?
Why don't
there,
you
can you
close
hear me now?
that door on your way in, Anastriana?
Am I back on?
Yes.
Yeah, you're here. We can hear you.
Okay, yeah, that 29 was my perception for looking at stonework.
Okay, you also notice the sort of door-shaped outline after Maldrek sort of starts staring at it, and you're like, why is he, rubbing his face on this wall? And then you figure out why.
It's just how elves search for doors.
Why is he rubbing his face on this door?
Does he see a way to open the door?
That's what I was. Is there a way to open it? Which way does it open? Can I tell any of that?
Your face might be in the way.
Okay.
Move your face for Ulfgar.
It does not seem to have any sort of indications on how you're supposed to open it. There's nothing in this hallway, and the door just appears to be sort of an outline, very, very faint in the wall there. So there's nothing that you think that you could use to get the door open.
Maybe it's a push.
What is this funky little
give it a
pebble
shove.
thing in front of Ulfgar? Is that my fireball or what's left of it?
That's
No,
the
that's the
lantern.
lantern.
That's the lantern.
I
the lantern.
found the lantern and brought it over.
Ah, okay.
Because otherwise, I'm the only one that can see. Y'all are just
Gotta-
wandering around in the dark.
Yeah. Give it a push there, Big
Give it a
McLarge.
shove,
Huge.
Mildred.
I'll give it a
You're,
push. With
big
my
and in the way.
foot.
Foot push.
Eh.
You were the weakest huge guy ever.
You you kind of can feel it starting to budge ever so slightly, but you're not able to move it, and neither is Ulfgar, and even the two of you together are having a hard time of it.
Why
Faden,
don't you do this one? Son of a
Faden,
bitch!
you shove your,
Wow.
enlarged brother out of the way and make it look easy.
I do it with a finger, by the way.
We loosened it
Look,
for
I'm
you.
not used to this form. It's performance anxiety. Okay,
It's all about the precise application of pressure.
That's what she said.
As I watch all this happen, my jaw drops.
That's right.
Faden, do you flex a little bit?
That's my bicep.
Teresa now has a whole new respect for Faden.
Maldrick doesn't.
No, but that's fine. He's family. All right. I'm going to do a little peeky peek. Little sort of sneaky peeky peek. Peek.
Oh, good
Oh.
job.
Oh, good God.
So, you peek around
I
the
closed
corner.
the door.
You're not even
Close it! Close it! Close it!
Nope.
Nope.
What the heck?
Nope and out.
Well,
13.
what you saw briefly was a swarm of pale orange centipedes.
Nope.
And also, sort of behind them, since they're, kind of small and they're on the ground, you also noticed that there is a sort of path leading out and down to the east.
A path. Well, I don't suppose I actually had time to close the door, did I? Or did I?
They're all the way over here, but the instant that the door opened,
Mm-hmm.
they got to about here.
All right. Like, yeah.
And they seemed really excited to see you. They're like, super excited puppies.
Oh, well, maybe they're friendly. Horrible centipedes.
Yeah, I mean, maybe.
Well, it could be.
Uh,
I mean, everyone else in this dungeon has had such nice things to say to us.
Should I spark again and see if I can light them on fire? They make crackle.
Crackles.
I don't know if the centipedes themselves are that flammable. But I do think it probably calls for a bomb, brother.
A bomb?
Yeah.
Is there room enough for me to lob a bomb through there?
If we just crack the door bomb-sized,
Mm-hmm.
that's something we can do.
You can...
Because, no, I don't think that's a good idea, because if he misses as he's kind of doing lately, it's going to bounce off the door and then hit us all in that little narrow hallway.
What is
I
that
would-
supposed to mean?
I would
Sorry.
prefer-
Just calling it as I see it.
Does he get bonuses to hit a square that's right next to him if he gently rolls it through the door?
So, while you guys are standing here arguing about what to do next,
Crap.
there is no way to have completely closed this door from the side that you're on, because there is not space enough for your fingers. You have pulled it as far toward you as possible.
What if I stuck my face to it and, did a little bit of a suction and then pulled my head back?
Yeah, I don't think that's a thing.
No?
So while you guys are standing
Oh,
here
gross.
discussing,
Oh, gross.
there are centipedes starting to seep out
Oh,
of the
it's
cracks
leaking.
around the door.
Step on him. Step on him.
And that ends initiative.
Maldrick, step on
Oh, God.
Everybody initiate.
They're
Really?
Oh
Better,
my god.
better this time.
gross.
Wow.
No,
All
I
right.
can't
Yeah.
vomit for
Who
it.
do you think you're dealing with this time? Caladrol?
All right, Ulfgar, is that really a 5?
Yes, that's really a 5.
Wow, the Elven brothers end up with. Wait a minute.
We
How
both
did?
crit.
How did?
That's really a 5, too.
So, oh god. So Maldrick,
Yeah.
you clicked on the lantern when
What?
you initiated because the lantern has the
Son of
31
a bitch.
right now. All right, so we say
The dog is going
31.
I
to
always
move.
knew I could count on a
0.1.
lantern.
Damn it!
Get rid of the lantern.
I love lantern.
Tria's got a 5. Ulfgar's got a 5. Soleil's got an 18. And... And we're going to say add turn. And GMO 1d20 plus none of your business.
Guess I should have left the door open. Blech.
Alrighty. What is Soleil's initiative modifier? Or dex modifier, whichever.
Her initiative modifier is 5.
Okay. Meldrick! It is your turn.
Bomb.
Bomb where?
Can I just punch it with a bomb and exclude myself and Faden?
How does your... I feel like you're not going to be able to exclude yourself if you're holding it.
He's pretty crafty.
Yeah.
I mean, the act of holding it would mean that you are extending your arm into that square.
It's like holding a claymore.
Why can your mother not tuck you in?
You can drop it directly on the thing, you just can't hold it.
I'll do that.
Okay.
You might want to boot that door open a little more so you hit more of them.
No, that's fine. They'll die.
Is it possible to get some of them caught under the door and squish it as it's flying open?
The door is a rather thick, heavy bit of stone. You don't really know what's going on the other side of them, the other side of the door, as in regards to the location of any centipedes. But you will assume that if you manage to get that door open, it probably could take a couple of them out.
So am I actually rolling an attack, or do you just want damage?
Roll an attack just to make sure that you hit what you're trying to.
Make sure I drop it directly on the thing that's directly beneath what I'm dropping on.
Yeah, you can have a bonus for it, but
You're gonna wind up like
okay.
tossing it over your shoulder.
So it's a good thing that I gave you a bonus. Yeah, it is. So
Because you're the worst.
with the bonus, you do just hit.
What's max damage?
Max
Yeah,
damage.
tuck you in.
All right, so we are taking 13 damage.
No, that's not
Might
max
as well
damage.
for
What
me.
the hell?
Oh, because one of the 6s was a 6 and the other one was a 3.
What the hell?
Yeah, that's weird. Okay, so a bunch of do they? So a bunch of really upset centipedes die in an explosion, and some of the ones that were starting to ooze out around the cracks, they're taking some splash damage and being really sort of unhappy, but they are still alive.
No. They're dead.
All right, so Faden.
All right. Well, I see that this door has now become an obstacle to us dealing with this. So I'm going to use my move action to push it back open again.
Okay.
It's loosened, so hopefully that won't be as difficult. Is that fine? Is it?
You were using your move speed or move action to open the door, yes?
Yes.
Okay.
Since it is loosened, do I have to? Or can
No,
I just
no.
Okay. And then after that, I slash at what is visible to me with Tempest. 25 to hit.
That definitely hits quite a few of them.
I'm very slashy. It's 9 damage and 2 frost.
Alrighty. So, you're sort of whipping your thing around to hit as many of them as possible. Some of them...
Very, very gracefully.
Yes. Some of them...
Not at all like a panicked person covered in bucks.
Some of them, when you cut them in half, they sort of get a little freezy in the slicey sections. Alrighty. And Soleil. Soleil is going to have some trouble getting into a place where she can actually fight, considering how far away she is. She can...
She's got 40
She can
feet.
squeeze... Yeah, I guess she does, doesn't she? I was thinking she only had 20, but that's Ulfgar. She can squeeze between Faden and Ulfgar
5,
if
10,
she wants to get up there.
15, 20, 25. If I put her right here, can she still reach everything?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, she can't reach, like, the main center of the swarm, but there are plenty of extras that are creeping out.
Gross
Okay.
amount of centipedes to go around.
She's going to... I can't use my action that I held from the other one, can I?
Oh, God, no.
Really?
Poo-poo.
Not a thing.
Oh, just eat some centipedes.
Should totally be a
It's a
thing.
dog. They're centipedes. Eat them.
All right.
They're moving! Yay!
She's gonna,
Dinner.
she's gonna bite and pounce on them because they're moving all over the floor, and she thinks it's fun. So, all right. So she's gonna bite, and I think I do it like that. She got a 13.
They're moving around so quickly that she's just snapping her jaws on empty air. You're assuming that part of it is because they're so low to the ground, she's worried about bashing her face on the floor, but she does not manage to connect with any of them.
Okay, I have seen a dog go for things that are on the ground. That dog does not care about bashing her face on the ground.
Well,
She just, oh no,
does.
this
She
dog
does.
right in the ground.
7.
She missed
unlike
anyway. Get over
Pearl,
it.
probably has enough sense of self-preservation to not bash her nose on the dirt.
Apparently. No, it was
Okay.
cement. It was full-on cement. Trying
Oh,
to pick up the
God.
ball.
Oh, poor puppy.
Ding-a-ling.
All right, so it is now the turn of the centipede swarm. Let me read something here. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so they are going to swarm Maldrek.
Gross.
I don't think they should do that. Because I'm familiar with swarms.
Crap.
I know how they work.
You're not Caladril.
What?
You're not Caladril.
I have bomb a swarm.
Yeah, he used
You're
it
a
a while ago, I thought.
No, that was
Or
Caladril.
no, that was
Yeah, that was
Caladril, wasn't it?
I didn't know that Maldrick was a gross alchemist too.
Looking.
Maldrick has it, he just hasn't used it yet.
Yeah, because it's gross.
Yet.
You just swarm the swarm.
Bleh.
Bit. Bit.
Wait, it just doesn't actually tell me what the hell is going on here.
It does a guaranteed damage per round. It's
But I
it's a little
can't
hard to find.
actually find that information.
It's like depending on the size of the swarm, it's like a D6, I think.
Tells me how many there are.
Does that
And-
make a chance every time we swing into the swarm that we hit Meldrick?
Yes.
Yeah, there is that.
Crawls all over its prey, remain the creature with 10-foot space. Never make
Sorry,
AOs, but can provoke AOs. Unlike other creatures with a 10-foot space, the swarm is shapeable, can occupy any 4 contiguous squares, and it can squeeze through any space large enough to contain one of its component creatures. But it doesn't actually tell me how much damage it does. That's terrible.
You gotta dig a bit to find that.
Yeah, there's a swarm damage thing.
I'm just looking in the monster manual, and it just refuses to tell me what its attack.
Based on the size, so it's the number that that thing is gonna. I'll have to find it. And apparently, searching doesn't actually search sometimes in Chrome, and that's really irritating. Actually search, thanks. Jeez.
So how many hit dice does it have?
Wow.
There's hair everywhere now, dog. Seriously, it doesn't.
It just says it has a single pool of hit die and hit points.
My tab is still not loaded.
And how many hit die is that?
Doesn't say. Hold on a second. Let me
say right next to the HP, like
HP, how many D6?
It doesn't, because the only reason that I know how many HP it has is because it says in the adventure path how many HP. It says Centipede Swarm, HP, not telling you, and then it says Monster Manual, page 238, and I'm on page 238, and it's telling me Jack. Wait, apparently I'm on page 237. Okay, hold on, here we go. Hit dice, 9d8 minus 9. Okay, we got
So
that.
it's 2d6 damage.
2d6 damage.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
6 to 10 hit dice, 2d6. Yeah.
Realize
They
there was
deal automatic damage to any creature whose space they occupy at the end of the move, with no attack roll needed. They're not subject to mischance for concealment or cover.
Alrighty, you are going to take 10 centipede damage.
Nope. I refuse.
So that means Ulfgar's armor doesn't even work against them.
Nope. Speaking of Ulfgar, it's his turn.
Oh, lovely.
You gotta kill it. Kill it with fire. Gross. Nope. Nope.
I don't have fire. So I kill with axe. Sorry.
Oh shit.
Stand still.
Don't move.
Wait, if he hits me, does that mean I get a scimitar lobbed at me too?
Mm-hmm.
Gotta hope it's not made up of bugs.
Okay. You people are all fairly lucky that I, Oh, wait a minute. Okay. So, you're using just your regular axe at it. And unfortunately, like, it's really, really hard to hit them with an axe.
Yeah.
Especially with Maldrek there. So it's like every time you try and swing your axe, you're not actually connecting with anything, or you might get one, but it's just really hard to do, especially with Maldrek being there. And you're going to assume that using melee weapons is probably not your best bet.
Well, I did.
You had frost damage.
Oh.
So Tria, unless Ulfgar has something else he would like to do.
This is kind of what Ulfgar does. So.
Okay, well then it's Tria's turn.
Okay, so I basically don't need to swing at it with anything.
No. I mean, you could.
Light him on fire.
But
Or do something.
Are they
Maldrek
considered a
is-
flammable object?
Maldrek is somewhat flammable.
oh, let me see. It doesn't say anything about being flammable, but It does say that...
I don't think you can spark them.
No, spark wouldn't work, but if you had a way to set them aflame, that could be a thing, but they would also be setting Maldrek aflame.
Maldrek's flammable. You might be able to spark Maldrek.
It's all that hair gel.
Is he? He's standing in the middle of him, isn't he? Son of a biscuit.
Yeah, they're swarming all over him.
Ugh. So, well, okay. Something that touches up to 4 creatures. Would it touch 4 of the centipede thingies?
The centipedes count as one.
They're all sort of crawling all over each other, so they're definitely touching one another, if that's what you're asking.
Yeah, but if it says 4 creatures touched...
It counts as a creature that you're...
Yeah, it's basically one creature, because they're so tightly entangled together you can't tell where one ends and another one begins.
It's a nightmare scenario of centipedes that is roughly elf-shaped.
Poo-poo.
Hey, Maldrek.
Hey, what?
Do you have any special, like, poison invulnerability?
Invulnerability?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think so. Let me double check.
Where the heck did that spell go?
Yes, I have +2 against poison.
Okay.
You have to make a save. And then...
I saw a really cool spell, and now I cannot find it.
Afraid I can't help you.
I know.
Oh, I forgot to ask, because Ulfgar and Tria both have the same initiative. Which one of you has the higher modifier?
I have a +3.
Most likely her, actually. That +2.
I have +3.
Alright, well, we'll fix that the next time around. Because Tria should be going before Ulfgar.
I'll back up and she can, come around me if she can get in melee and do something useful.
Son of a gun, where the heck is it?
Do you know what it's called? And I can look it up?
It was something cool that made like a fire sword or something come out of my hand.
Wow, that's not actually very helpful as far as a name.
Like ray of...
What?
Ray
There's
or
nothing...
something like that?
Burning
It's all
hands?
called-
No.
Magic weapon or something?
Although I could do one burning gaze. Inflict 1d6 fire damage to a creature. Although I'm not sure I'm carrying around an eye of a mundane salamander.
You would have material components for all of your spells.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Well, then we're gonna do that then, I think.
What's the range on that? Because you're like 20 feet away.
Well, I'm gonna move here.
Okay.
There's only... I don't have my... I learned a spell mid-adventure, so I don't have that cat's fur I need. That's why I need you to turn into a catism.
It says 4 rounds, so... Okay, it says target is me, inflict 1d6 fire damage to a creature. So does that mean that the creature would have to be on me, or?
No. That's a little bit weird that it says that the target is
personal.
Range what?
Range is personal.
That doesn't make any sense. What is this thing called?
Burning gaze.
Burning gaze. All right, hang on.
And it's got like VM, S, and DF.
Your eyes burn like hot coals, allowing you to set objects or foes alight with a glance. So yeah, you are setting it on yourself, and then basically anything that you look at is going to set on fire.
Okay, so
Well, I
basically
mean,
I'm
not.
casting this on myself, and
She
that will
doesn't
last
want it
up to
to.
4 rounds unless I gaze at something and light it on fire.
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Yes, seemingly.
Okay, so the fire, I can't like cast it 4 different rounds. It just, I cast it on me once, and then whenever I gaze, it's gone.
Yeah, it's an ability, and then you look, and then.
Okay.
Or can she do it for 4 rounds?
That's not how I'm reading it.
Oh, okay.
What's it called?
It's called Burning Gaze.
Burning gaze.
As a standard action, as long as this spell's effects persist, well, maybe, you may direct your burning gaze against a single creature or object within 30 feet of your location. Targeted creatures must succeed at a fortitude save or take 1d6 points of fire damage. Unattended objects do not get a save. I don't know what that means, unattended.
Got like a bale of straw. You just look at it, and it would burst.
Says it's on page 208, Joe.
Creatures damaged by the spell must make a reflex save or catch fire.
Yeah, she gets to do that once per turn for 4 turns.
All right.
Okay, so...
Oh, wait, in what book? It's not 208 in this
As
book.
a standard action, just like.
I don't know then. So what would my modifier would I add onto that?
You don't.
It's
Do I
not
add
a
one?
roll.
You
You
just
don't
cast
have
it
to
and look
roll
at 'em,
for
they
it. You
roll
just
fortitude
do it.
save.
Oh,
Then
well,
they
I've done it, and I'm staring at the... I'm looking directly at the swarm. I do not see any person in the middle of it. I'm looking directly at the swarm.
That's pretty fair. She's got a surface level of swarm.
All right, so...
It's not like trying to stop an axe about a centipede deep.
Okay, so it doesn't tell me... What's your DC on the fortitude for this?
I thought you just said what it was.
It is... Where'd it go? It is... DC 15 Fortitude.
Okay. And, whoops, wrong thing. I need this. And our fortitude save is actually pretty good. Alright.
Can I cast that as like a level 1 spell instead of a level 2?
No, you can go up if any of them allow you to, but not
You can go
usually
up,
down.
but you can't go down. Okay.
Okay, so you said that the DC was 15. We did better than that. So they are...
It negates, right?
It negates.
Okay. Well, next round.
My
we'll give it another shot.
understanding of it.
Maybe they won't roll a 19 next time.
Must succeed at a fortitude save or take 1d6. So it doesn't say that it's taking anything.
Yeah, that's a negate.
All right.
But I'm still able to cast it the next round, right?
Yeah,
You
got
don't
3
have to
more rounds.
recast it.
It's an ability you have now. You can look and light things.
Your
for
eyes
the
are on
next 3
fire right now.
rounds.
And it says that if you do it as a move action instead of a standard action, so it took you a standard action to set it, and then so it was a standard action. But it says if you control it as a move action instead of a standard action, you get 1d8 instead of 1d6.
Oh.
That's
Well,
something.
didn't it take? Well, I mean, they made the save, so it doesn't matter. But it took her a standard action to cast it on herself, and then as her move, she looked, so it would have been a D8 that time.
Well,
I
it
already
says.
moved that turn, though.
Oh, wait a minute.
I had it up there.
Oh,
Ignore everything that I just said.
okay.
That's for
Done.
something else. I didn't realize that it wasn't just the regular thing. That's for mythic burning gaze.
I have not listened to you at all. Who's next?
Maldrek is next. You are covered in centipedes. What are you going to do about it?
Covered in bees.
No, not bees. Centipedes.
Brother?
Like my coffee, like I like my women. Covered in bees.
I'm gonna drop another bomb
What? Why don't you step back first so you're not in
because
the
I'm
swarm?
covered in them.
Yeah, they would pretty much just go with him.
No, that's not how that works. But
That is how that works, though.
You can't just step out of a thing that's crawling all over your body.
You shimmy shake and step out. All right, he drops a bomb. That's all right. It's all him.
Hold on.
And at least you got him centralized now.
All right. So,
excluding Faden and Soleil.
you mean
Or
Ulfgar and
Ulfgar.
Soleil?
No, Ulfgar can suck it.
Couldn't you just drop it on this part of yourself, and you wouldn't have to worry about excluding anybody but him?
Maybe.
You throw
Maybe
it at
I'll do
yourself.
that.
Honey?
I didn't hit you with my axe, did I?
I don't
No,
know.
you didn't.
No. Fine, I'll do that. I'll drop it on the other side of myself and not exclude them.
Bam!
Fine.
Okay. So, you are going to need to reflex to make sure you don't take your own splash damage.
I can't exclude myself.
Not when you're covered in them. No.
What?
Not if you want to actually hit them. They're all over you. If you exclude yourself, you're excluding them too, because they're taking up just as much space as you are, and they're taking up the same space. They're occupying your squares.
Can I count them as cover?
No.
They're all in your squares, Dave.
Not when you're actually trying to hit them. You cannot count them as cover.
Gross.
Okay.
They're on
So
me, covering.
you have
In your
successfully reflexed, so you are going to take 3 splash damage.
Sploosh.
And these things are going to... Oh,
They're going to die.
they're going to fall to the ground and sort of cringe and curl up into little balls and...
My bugs! My bugs! My bugs!
Ah, welcome back, brother.
All right, you are out of initiatives. Bugs is dead.
Gross. Can we get somebody else covered in bugs next time?
I think Rosdower was putting in bathing facilities as casino. I'll foot the bill when we get back.
West, I think I'm wearing a bug, so.
I'm just going to scrape off
That's
my own
true.
skin.
That's true.
Yeah. Ulfgar's like, I'm gonna get one of those as a scarf. It's sort of jaunty.
No, I have teeth to make a necklace out of.
There you go.
All right, so what do we feel like doing now? The secret door is no longer secret because it's way open. There is a pathway leading, sort of sloping down from as much as you can see from where you are, down in the southeast corner of the room here. But then there is also the area that you just came from that had the partially ajar door from the south. So what are we gonna do?
I'm pretty sure the door on the end of this corridor, if I'm thinking about my spatial awareness, leads out to a place we were. I don't know if I want to go down some path instead of check out on the door. I think we're a little extended in this direction. We should probably go back to that other room. But if you want to crack that door at the end of the hall, after checking it for traps, just to confirm my suspicions, that would be great.
I'm not sure if it does, because...
Now, to be fair, Faden, are you talking about this area or this down here?
No, this area, this door.
Okay.
That's a path. There's no door.
Yes, there is no door.
Said door with my word mouths.
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to try and be quiet. Not that that's going to do me any good. Yep, nope. I'm going to stumble my way down here and see what I can see in the dark.
Alrighty.
He's going anyway.
Fairly quiet.
Ulfgar just...
Oh, it moved. Never mind. Okay, it showed a 3 on mine when I saw it, so...
Yeah, you did all right.
It rechanged and saw 3. Okay.
All right. From your angle, that's about as far as you can see. It is sloping down.
Okay.
Neat. Maldrick,
Yeah.
the door I mentioned, can you please?
This one?
Yeah, that one.
Get out of the wall.
We've checked this one.
No, you haven't.
On the other side.
We secret doored.
You don't know that it's like that.
Don't I? Don't
I
I
sus-
though?
Yes, you can see the map, but to be fair, player knowledge, you don't know.
I suspect it's like that, but I want you to check it and crack it to make sure.
I did previously say.
Okay, you don't find any traps.
And I boot it open.
It opens towards you.
I want to try booting it anyway.
He boots it, and the door opens at him violently.
Yeah.
Take door damage.
Okay, you do not successfully boot, but you do open the door. So you look out and you notice the room where there's like blood smears on the walls, and you're actually going to, you definitely recognize this area as somewhere where you've been. The dead body of the guy is over here in the corner that the Unchosen got to, and there are blood smears all over the walls, and you're going to assume that those are the remnants of the former slaves of Lazrul who tried to escape and didn't make it.
I'm perfectly familiar with this rock. As suspected.
All right.
All right, I think we should do the jar door.
Yeah, the path down here is sloping downwards. I didn't see anything as far as my night vision lets me, but my dark vision. But
All right. Well, that
going
could
downhill.
that could be nasty if somebody comes in this other door while we're not paying attention. So, we going in here? Is that? Excuse you, brother?
Yeah.
Everybody move!
Okay. Maldrick,
Yeah.
you notice the door being slightly ajar, opening away from you. It has some sort of spider webs that look very similar to the ones that you noticed before, that are keeping the door ajar. Like if you were to try and pull it, it would be, you would have to be pulling against the webs in order to actually draw the door closed. You'll notice that right around the opening in the door, there's not nearly as many webs as you might have expected. You're probably going to assume that the spark carried through at least a little bit into this other room, at least up until the point where the door blocked its progress.
Are we fast enough to have an Austriana look at them?
Look at what?
The web.
She had how many rounds?
3 more.
3 more rounds, 18 seconds. I'm going to say no, considering how long it would have taken for Maldrek to come and check this door, and Ulfgar came down here and looked around. So, no.
I ran in front of them and looked at it.
Is it spark cantrip?
So what you going to do, those of you standing up by the door?
I'm gonna let somebody else go first this time, because I don't want to get any bugs.
I'm tired of this shit.
Isn't spark a cantrip?
Yeah, do you have spark again?
Jess, can you hear me?
Yeah, sparks a cantrip.
Oh, light them on fire again.
I'm gonna light them on fire again.
Burn the webs. I'm fighting with the door just to.
I like hurting things with fire if possible.
Then Meldrick, if you want to move, I'll go in first because I can see anyway. And...
You could probably sort of duck in and around Biggie.
How long do you think it's been since I quaffed that enlarge?
Straight out of Mirkwood.
Probably a good 5 to 8 minutes.
I'm no longer enlarged. It only lasts 4 minutes.
Okay.
Oh, he's little again.
Okay, I'm gonna need to zoom in because you guys are all really
Yes,
small
are
now.
you lighting the webs on fire?
Yeah, I did. Spark.
From where you are, you're not able to do much of anything. The ones that are visible through the door that is partly open have already been sparked from your last time around. Okay, that's a lot more effective. So, are you still looking in through,
Now move.
or are you running away?
I'm running away. I'm moving over here.
Okay.
There's not a lot of profit in her.
Ulfgar's like, I want to see.
Yeah, her taking
Ulfgar
attacks
open
on the
one.
face.
With a big axe ready to go.
Alrighty, so, you, after she, sparks and then steps out of the way, you see the sort of chain reaction of the webbing just sort of incinerating. It's kind of a neat effect.
Well, would you look at that with your eyes?
Well, let's see if I can see anything or if I'm enthralled by the burning webs. And
Well, the door is still mostly closed, so you can't see too much past that.
Okay. I mean, even angle-wise, I can't see more.
Well,
there in the dark,
let's
looking,
see
trying to
what we
look
got going on here.
Pretty peaky. I'm not.
I mean, burning webs would mess with my dark vision a little bit, but
So, from what you can see, this appears to just be a sort of hallway that is leading south.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna push the door open the rest of the way.
Okay, it kind of fights against you. Like, you push it open and it sort of springs back again. There's still some webs behind the door. But you do
that
manage...
weren't connected to the other webs at all?
They were, just it wasn't able to get at them quite as well through the thing. But he does get the door open and it ends up being stuck to the wall now on what remains of the webs. So the hallway continues to the south, and you will tell that it then curves to the east.
What? You're muted, bye. Probably.
I'm going to. Oh well, it's dark down. Is dark down here? It's dark.
It's dark.
Okay. Well, then he's the only one that can do any scouting, because if I bring the lantern around, the fact that I was sneaky isn't going to make any difference.
Okay, well, let's see if I can be quiet again. Ooh, that's here. I'm gonna come down, try and peek around the corner.
Okay.
Trying to be quiet.
So, you,
It was a curious tone.
You peek around the corner.
Oh, dear God.
And it's waiting for you. So it's going to get a surprise round.
Yep.
Did it take any fire damage?
No.
What?
And it heard me coming? I was quiet.
It didn't hear you coming. It heard the webs doing things and noticed it. It probably didn't hear it, but felt the vibrations as all of its webs were being cut loose. Crap, I'm not on that page anymore.
Totally BS. It didn't take any fire damage.
Shenanigans.
Well,
Hacks.
once we get past this part, I will explain to you why he didn't take any damage.
Hacks.
Hacks.
Hack the planet.
Where the heck?
360 no scope.
Oh, wait. Wait.
Come at me, bro.
There he is.
Swear on me, mom.
289.
You what, mate?
Oi.
238. I was down on that page, and I had to leave.
Oh, gosh.
Scrolling. You don't want to know. Okay, what is this? This is huge.
Ulfgar doesn't hear anything. You just hear Ulfgar make a sound that you've never really heard him make before.
Alright.
Perception check to notice the dwarf stiffening.
What did you roll? I'm not on that.
21.
You definitely notice. You notice him clench a little bit.
And a second later, you hear him go, "Oh crap!"
I think the dwarf just got basilisked.
That's a different thing. Okay.
You hear him shout in fear like you've never heard him kind of.
Bring me my brown pants.
He just made a puppy noise.
All right. Does a 12 hit you?
No.
Okay. It lunges out to bite you incidentally. Oh, I'm not on the right thing here. It moves to
Apparently
here.
with a fang the size of your fist.
Yeah. If you're wondering why it's sort of overtaking the wall in its hugeness, it's partially because the tile is too big and has a lot of extra crap around the edges, but it's also because he's clinging to a wall. Specifically, he's clinging to the northern wall. The hallway is taller than it is wide, and it's easiest for him to get around by being sideways as opposed to on the floor.
Gross.
So he, is there and sort of goes to bite you, but misses in his excitement, and that's initiatives.
Nope. Not going to.
Boop, boop-a-doo-doo. Pow!
Make sure I
Wow,
don't
I
hit the
didn't credit
lantern.
this time.
Boop-a-doo-doo.
Oh my god.
And click on myself, not on the lantern.
Yeah, do that.
Yep. Well, at least you did something there.
Ooh. It's a 3.
Big, giant, horrible spider.
I hate this stupid dice rolling app. It just sucks and it doesn't like me.
Wolfgar, what did you end up with?
I'm trying to. Hold on. My computer's
Oh,
being
okay.
stupid.
Not done yet.
Oh my god.
I don't even see it. Did he roll?
I don't know. I don't
One.
see it either.
I can't see it.
My computer's being stupid. It's,
Okay. I'll wait.
yeah, it keeps like skipping and slowing down and stuff.
Ooh.
Yeah, I rolled
Wow.
I rolled a natural 1.
Nice. Somebody's going after me, and it's good that it's the person
It's a 3.
right in front of the spider.
So wait a minute, why do I have Maldrek in here twice?
I don't know.
I don't know either. Let's get you out of here. Do I have anybody else in here twice? No.
I'm not even in there that I can see, so.
You're near the
Probably
bottom.
because
You're
had-
under Faden with
probably
a 7.
You had to manually add him last time,
That's
and then he auto-added because of the lantern debacle.
Alrighty, well, as per usual, Maldrek is up to bat first.
I am nowhere near it, so I'm going to hold my turn.
Okay, Soleil is next, also not really anywhere near it.
There's too much crap on my screen. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, and I'm gonna bite it.
Rawr!
Actually, I'm gonna come over here. There, I'm gonna bite it there.
Ulfgar's still trying to get over the fright of the giant spider appearing and trying to bite it. So.
Doesn't even notice the dog darting around behind him.
Okay, so this is a +6. And I'm gonna bite him.
Yes,
Bite
you are.
him?
Yes, you do.
Bit him.
Bid him for what damage?
It is 4 + 2.
There's
4.
one like
4 damage.
unrealistically brave beagle that you got there.
All right, so
He saw the dwarf about pee himself and wanted to get in on the action.
Soleil runs up there, and she sort of lunges and bites and sort of gets the tip of a creepy spider leg.
Do I get like a surprise thingy too? Because there's no way that he could have seen that dog coming.
No.
It's not a surprise round. It's everybody's in initiative order now.
You did move through squares as a spider round. So.
What?
What? Never mind. Please continue.
Okay, are you sure you want me to? Because it's Spider's turn.
No.
Well, I mean, no,
Stop
but
anytime.
hey, I'm not anywhere near it, so.
All right, so it's a little bit irritated at the dog, what just bit it. So it is going to attempt now to respond in kind to the dog.
Spider's gonna eat your dog.
Does a 15 hit Soleil?
No.
Okay. Spider rears up and, rears sideways, I guess. And, has the two front legs sort of up in the air and then does a real quick strike at the dog, but misses. Baden. You see from where you are, the dwarf got real nervous. Dog ran up, barking and growling, and, definitely connected with something. And from, well, actually, no, since it's clinging to that wall, you can't see much from where you are.
I got a couple of legs peeking out every once in a while.
Yeah, you might see a blue leg sticking out every once in a while. You noticed one especially when it was moving around and the dog attacked it.
All right. I'm going to come down here with Tempest out. And then I'm going to come right in here.
Right in its face. Hi, can I help you with something? Go away.
And I'm going to attack with Tempest. Going to power attack, but my thing doesn't seem to work, so we'll do it manually. Oh, really?
Ooh.
Oh, come on.
Ken, please roll a d20.
Oh, God.
Crap.
Huh.
Okay.
Really?
So you're running up and you're real gung ho, and you go to slash at the thing, and you throw Tempest, and it lands somewhere behind it.
Oh, ouch. Bummer.
Tria, it is your turn. What is this will save for, Faden?
Losing Tempest bothers me. But apparently I overcome it.
Yes, you're all right.
I'm gonna stand here.
And go, eee!
You get your first sort of
Actually, I'm gonna stand here.
indication of how big, and now you definitely know how big this thing really is, and you're kind of horrified.
Holy crap!
Kind of horrified. One of its legs is as big around as your waist. Like, all of its legs are individually
And
as
why
big around.
Ulfgar was just standing here and not...
But thankfully you didn't get bitten, Ulfgar, while you were just standing there peeking around the corner going, crap!
Okay.
Now, Ulfgar, you did pretty well not getting bit, but you also, you have your 10% mischance on top of it, and then also have the fact that you were mostly concealed. So you would have been fine regardless.
Can I shoot an arrow at it?
Certainly.
Okay, we're gonna do that, I think.
Well, she rolls that quick question. You said it's stuck to the wall?
The spider?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could I get past it?
Yeah, if you're fast enough.
All right.
You might get bit on the way.
Well.
Faden, I'm gonna...
Is it sticking to webs on the wall?
No. There is a noticeable lack of webs in this hallway.
Can I maybe spark its feet so it falls off the wall?
I mean, you would have to spark all 8 feet at once.
Spark.
I don't think that's
you
a
can
thing.
get all of them at the same time. It's got 8 legs.
Spark is basically just a magical tinderbox. That's all.
Well,
Spark.
yeah, you could set the hairs on its legs on fire, which will let it cling to the wall, but you're not going to get 8 of them all at the same time.
Yeah.
You have to get at least 4 of them to make it fall. So.
Yeah.
Tempest is right here.
Yeah. All right.
Well, I'm gonna I'm gonna shoot the arrow at it then.
You sink an arrow into it.
And it did.
Don't have the best wisdom in the world.
That's damage.
Alrighty. So, arrow sort of sinks into the side here between two of its legs, and it sort of hisses and growls, and then the legs start moving around, and it pulls the arrow out and hisses menacingly at you. And now it's Ulfgar's turn.
Alrighty.
Make it
And
sad.
I can attack it from where I'm at. Swung at me.
You're gonna want Faden to duck, and you're gonna have kind of a problem. But because it is clinging to that wall, yes. If it was actually on the floor, you'd have a real problem. But because it's on that wall, as long as Faden ducks, you should be fine.
That's why I was checking. Like, if
I'm
it's
a
in
little
position to hit
hunched.
me around the corner, then I can kind of should be close enough to.
I'm a little hunched anyway, trying to spot my sword that I threw down the hall for no reason.
I'm gonna do full round attack, so I'm gonna do both my attacks.
All right.
I'm gonna power attack the first one.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Hey, nice.
So that definitely hits.
As soon as this decides to not freeze, my computer is being stupid. So as soon as it'll let me roll, I'll roll the damage here.
Now you're power attacking, so that adds 2 to your damage?
It adds 4 in my case because it's a two-handed weapon. It adds.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Takes 2, adds 4 for him.
Yeah, I lose 2 to my attack roll and I gain 6 to my damage in this case.
Oh, so you mean that your attack was really only a 24?
Yeah.
No, I compensated that. I have a plus 12 normally to hit.
Oh.
Jeez Louise, dude. Okay. It's alright, a 24 still would have hit. I was just messing with you.
Yeah.
The thing is huge, so, it doesn't have all the AC in the world.
It's also wearing a mithril plate.
Okay.
So.
His blue fuzzy
my thing
mithril.
will stop being stupid.
Alright, we're
I'm
looking
sticking
at...
really badly. My connection is terrible at the moment.
Is that 16 damage?
16. Yep, that's for that attack. I'm at plus. Alright, so second attack. 22 to hit.
Yep.
For 13 more damage.
Okay. As you are hacking and slashing, basically just sort of trying to stay tucked behind that wall as much as possible because you really don't like this spider, you're basically just swinging your axe as hard as you can toward the wall, which is why, you lost a little bit of your... you did a power attack, but you lost a little bit of your aim in there just because you're swinging around a corner.
Yeah.
Your first attack, you solidly manage a hit, like right in what you would imagine the thing's face to be. And it is super pissed, and it's screeching and, moving its feet around trying to cover up its eyes, and it's really upset. And then with your second swing, you take off its front right leg.
Ooh, so now I only got to knock 7 of them loose.
So he is like bleeding sort of creepy bluish black blood from the wounds that you have inflicted on it. It's also oozing a little bit out of like its side right here where Tria sunk an arrow into it, and it is livid. And it's Maldrek's turn.
I figured out what was wrong with my power attack.
Don't like spiders.
They don't particularly like you either.
I said that. Spiders are bad.
Double move to get up to here. That's it.
Oh, give me a minute, Pearl.
Well, technically, Maldrek, you're at the top of the turn order, so if you like, we can pretend that your double move was your last round, and then you have a new round. So,
Can I lob a bomb over Chalet?
where are you trying to get it to land?
On the spider's butt.
Okay, the spider is actually
on the
This
wall.
is so freaking awesome.
Right in the butt.
So,
Well, there's still a bunch of people in my way.
I'm crouched
Yes.
a little bit, trying to find my sword.
yeah, Faden is sort of ducked because he launched Tempest into the darkness and is trying to find it. But the spider is clinging to the north wall. It is not on the floor.
All right, going for
So-
spider, excluding excluding Ulfgar and Faden.
Okay.
Whoop.
13 is not going to do it. You have that gravity problem is being an issue. So where were you? Here, I'm gonna move the spider for a second, and you're gonna tell me what.
So starting here.
So starting there, okay.
1, 2, and 3. No, this is 1. 2 and 3 is here.
3. Okay.
Oh, good.
So it still works out.
It does, actually. It works out fairly well. Alrighty, so we're gonna well, first of all, we're gonna bring him back onto this layer. And we're gonna say token layer. And then we're gonna do a reflex. Reflex. Alrighty.
Yeah, spider.
He has trouble reflexing out of the way because he's not quite used to being an amputee yet. And he was, wanting to rely on that leg to get him out of the way, and he just doesn't quite make it.
Damn right.
So,
Well, it's been like 3 seconds since he lost the leg, so he's not even really fully registered that it's not there yet.
right. And he's still trying to use it, and he's tripping, and, it's just sad. All right, so Spider is sort of unhappy, and with the sort of bombing action that happened, it is now trying to basically be on the floor, but the floor is not wide enough for it. So what you have going on right now is that the 3 remaining of its right legs are still on the wall, the 4 left legs are on the floor, and it's sort of diagonal in the room.
It's candy. All right.
Yes. Soleil's turn. Soleil now has a better
roll?
Yes. Soleil now has a better range of that front left foot that she bit the first time because of how it's at.
She is going to bite it again. Is that the right number that I'm supposed to add to that? No, it is not. It is this number. So she's biting it again. Thinking. Come on.
She misses.
Good God, man. We had to think that hard for that. Oh, wait. That was the wrong character. Hold on.
For Pete's sake. Watch you roll a 1 now.
I got a better one.
Okay. She still misses.
Oh, come on.
Wow.
I was going to say, if you roll a 1, that's going to be canon. I'm sorry, but that's what it's going to be. But no, she still misses. She was real close, though. She ended up with a couple of those horrible tarantula hairs in her
How
mouth.
did she miss a freaking 7-legged spider? Really?
Because it has an AC of 16.
It should be lower than that now, though, because he's missing a leg.
She caught it, she just didn't do damage to it.
Yeah. She got mouthful of spider fuzz.
Which at this scale, it's like porcupine quills.
Right? Okay, so
Worst.
Spider's turn.
God.
Spider doesn't really like Faden,
What?
which it didn't like. He thinks you're throwing stuff at him.
Oh, I mean, yeah.
So he's going to try and bite you just because you're actually its easiest target at this point. Does a 26 hit you?
Oh, it super does. Yeah, why don't you just kill me?
All right, let's see what we got. 2d6.
I'm not even paying attention.
Because you're
Yeah.
focused on getting Tempest back. Okay, so we say.
Actually, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not obsessed. My will save kept me from being.
You are going to take 9 points of, I guess it's basically piercing damage.
That stings.
And I need for you to roll me. I believe it's a fortitude save.
Yes,
That was a
it's
20
it's
strike,
most
yeah.
likely poison.
Oh,
So.
here we go. What was your save? I'm not on that screen, just tell me.
20.
20.
God, if that doesn't save, that's some serious poison. He's a big spider, so.
Oh yeah, 20's fine.
That's some serious poison if a 20 doesn't save.
Yeah, it would have been a thing, and well, I'll let in some trade secrets after the thing is dead. But okay, you are not poisoned,
That is comforting, at least.
and it is your turn.
Is the diagonal more fortuitous or less fortuitous to getting to my sword?
It's actually not that much of a difference.
All right, doesn't matter.
Because the hallway is 10 feet wide. The height of the thing, while it was stuck to the wall, was basically obscuring most of the northern 5 feet, and
Yeah.
now it's actually obscuring the northern 5 feet. But you can still take the southern path and go past it.
Okay. Can I get the curve blade from you? Can I use my move to get the curve blade from Maldrick if he will allow me to do so?
You will, but in turning around to take it from him, you will incur an attack of opportunity.
Even if I just sort of stick my hand back and ask for it?
Lance?
Well, does he have it in his hand? Because he's been lobbing bombs.
No, he doesn't.
So it's going to take him a second to get it to you. So
right.
Yes, you will incur an attack of opportunity.
I'll just take it. I'll turn around and say, curve blade? And I just need a nod from him.
Sure.
All right. And I'll pull it off of his belt.
You need to ask, you just turn around and grab it.
All right, so you had your back to it. Does a 25
Always
hit?
taking my things.
It does.
Alrighty. So we said it was a 2d6 plus 6. I'm going to take another 14 damage and roll me another fortitude save, which is the same as your first fortitude save, which is still fine. Okay, so now you are in possession of your old weapon, your father's curve blade.
Yeah.
It's familiar to you and vaguely comforting to your loss of Tempest, but you kind of miss the moldy arm.
Yeah.
It's sentimental. The mold, that is.
Jeez. I don't remember what the thing was for that.
What?
I mean, finesse is all right. So you can take the attack roll from Tempest -1.
Is it only 1?
Yeah, because Tempest is magical. It's got a +1 enchantment. Actually,
Right.
I'm going to burn a part of my mana, my Magus mana point, to enchant the curve blade into a +1. So the attack is the same.
Now, do you have time to do?
Yeah,
that's a free action?
That's instant.
Okay.
So the attack is going to be saying the damage we're going to have to figure out.
Wow.
Whoa, hello.
Okay, 22 confirms the crit.
Nice.
So.
In that case, so what's the damage on that, Maldrick? Can you help me out? Damage, curve blade, stats.
D10.
A D10?
Yep.
I don't get to add my dexterity to this because it's not a scimitar, which is a shame.
Now, why is it?
Well, you do have
Oh.
finesse.
Yeah, that's to the attack though. Finesse is to the attack.
Well, strength does damage.
Yeah. 1d10 plus my strength, which is 1. Boop, 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 do. Which.
Peekaboo. A boop, 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 peekaboo.
But
That's you.
We're
I'm
doubling
not peekabooing at you.
We're doubling the dice, yeah?
Get out from under my sewing desk.
Is that a
Get your nose
times
out
3
there.
or a times 2, Dave?
Times 2.
Times 2, okay. Well, that's double dice +1, so it's 13 slashing damage plus 2 fire damage from Sarah and Ray because it's a crit.
All right. So, you, in your fury at having lost Tempest, go full-on Bilbo Baggins, there's a giant centipede thing touching my ring and I'm losing my shit.
Mm-hmm.
And you just, go wholesale slaughter on this thing, and you are hacking and slashing and eventually it sort of crumples in on itself.
Oh, I don't get the 2 fire damage. Sorry, in case that matters.
It doesn't.
Okay. Have to be using a scimitar for that. Sorry.
I see. And it sort of curls its legs up underneath it and sort of collapses into the corner.
I continue slashing at it for probably a little longer than is.
Yeah, Ulfgar takes a couple swings too.
Strictly.
That is strictly seemly.
All right. So, between the two of you, you end up with a pile of like spider guts that you would be hard pressed to put back together, even if you wanted to.
Good.
I shake the curved blade off. I wipe it on Ulfgar because.
Yeah, well, that's good.
Yeah, he doesn't mind.
He doesn't mind. I get that, and I hand it back to Maldrick, and I say thank you.
Sure.
And then I step gingerly around the awful horribleness and grab Tempest like first thing.
Oh, really? Is that what happened? I thought you just missed the old blade.
No, I kind of.
In his excitement, he flourished a little too flourishy and just launched the thing into the darkness.
I think it was more he ran up here, saw what we were really against, and had a moment of holy crap, and just.
It surprised me. Sweaty palms. I don't know.
Mom
All
spaghetti.
Right.
What?
Faden.
Yes.
From where you is, you notice that there is a tower.
Jesse got disconnected.
Okay.
I think that's what she said. I don't know. I still show her here, but.
I still show her here too, but I also still show her with a dice roller up on her screen.
That may not be bad because
really old.
I gotta start my shift soon.
I don't know. I keep my dice roller up all the time. Oh, her computer's dying.
Okay. Well, we're gonna probably wrap here anyway because Dave says he's getting ready to go to work.
Okay.
So just a quick recap, and if Jesse can hear me, great. If not, Joe can fill her in. Faden, from where you're standing, there is an arch that leads to the east. You can see from where you are there are stairs going up and stairs going down. There are some webs heading up, not too many heading down. So that's what you got going on there.
I'm gonna report back that this is the spider tower.
Yeah, judging from where we did, that's the tower to the east of the one we went at, or the west of the one we went at. So.
And this one goes down. I don't think the other tower continued down.
No, pretty sure we were at the bottom of the other tower. If I remember.
This is yet another way we could take to the next level down, but I don't want to do that yet. So I would suggest we vanquish this hideous, awful thing. I would suggest to Maldrick that he may want to look at that. Yeah. I felt a little tingle when it bit me.
I am harvesting the shit out of this.
Okay. So, Maldrick, you are getting... You are getting some seriously good poison out of this. It does 1d6 constitution damage.
Oh, jeez.
That's rough.
Yep.
Yeah, ow.
And requires a fortitude save of 18.
Yikes.
Oh,
you see how close you were? Twice.
Super glad I made the 20.
Poison.
I totally invited one of those, too.
Yep, you sure did.
That was foolhardy.
We're stopping anyway. All right.
Oh, wait a minute. I read that wrong. It's not a d6 con, it's a d8 strength. My bad.
Well, still pretty terrible.
Yeah, still pretty awful.
1d8 strength?
You definitely
d8 strength damage.
Don't need the dwarf taking strength damage.
It doesn't, like,
what?
2 hits of that if it's
the DC?
The DC is actually 16, not 18.
I don't know this.
16.
16 for 1d8 strength damage.
Fortitude?
Yeah. So it's
yes.
poison. It's always poison.
Fortitude save. So you cleared it by more than you thought. I was looking at the wrong stat. It was only a 16 DC, so you cleared it by 4.
I'm a little ouchy.
Yeah.
That's still tough for fortitude. Yeah. So that's a 30.
Yeah, that's a hard one.
Agree.
All right, folks. So near miss there with the spider. And
at least we don't have to worry about him eating our guys anymore.
Yeah. So we are going to wrap up the session there, and
I would go tell him
that,
like, hey, they don't have to worry about the spider anymore, but I don't care.
You have to get all the way up there.
Yeah, I don't care that much.
You go out this minaret right here, and like they're watching it in terror because they see movement, and then they're like, "Oh, that's not a spider, that's an elf."
Oh, if I knew they were watching it, I would take like the front legs of the spider and like just sort of marionette them out the door.
Well, one of them's already detached, so that would be easier. Okay, so we're gonna call the session there. You guys had a lot of bugs today. A lot of bugs. Had some centipedes, had a giant spider, had an ogrekin, which isn't technically a bug.
I squashed him like a bug.
Squash you like a bug!
I'm going to start pulling tarantula hairs and braiding together a rope to put my teeth on and make my necklace.
Fancy!
Tarantula hair rope?
Very fancy.
I really don't think we want to sit here that long, so I'll find something
You should make like a Corinthian crest of blue tarantula hairs.
All right. So that's
that skull that you have.
Everybody have fun until next time. You have the option of going up or going down or going back over where you found the centipedes and going down that way.
I vote check the little path at this point because we're fairly familiar with the tower.
Also, I will remind you that there was a door up in the northern area close to where the trap was that you guys were not able to open.
Yeah, I remember that door.
Also, the main area where you guys first came in, there were doors heading west that you never went in. And then, of course, in the big sort of open cavernous room,
2 stairs.
Where you guys were fighting with the Unchosen, there are stairs going up and stairs going down. So everybody think about where you might want to go next time around.
Maldrick is convinced that we've completed our quest.
Yep, good enough for me.
All right, folks, so that's that, and we'll see you next time on Legacy of Fire.